morning. What a great crowd. Good to see you guys this morning. I have in my little bag today, I have one of Pastor Steve's favorite books. Now, what do you think a favorite book for a pastor would be? Anybody want to guess? The Bible? Really? You think that's my favorite book? Do ya? Well, maybe, but really, one of my favorite books is Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. You have that book? Yeah. Is this a good book? Do you have that book? Who? Does anybody not have this book? Yeah, everybody's had this book. You've heard this story before, haven't you? Yeah, it's actually a story about the alphabet, and it kind of starts off with, let me see if I can get to that. A told B and B told C, I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree. We said D to E, F, G. I beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You'd like me to, wouldn't you? Yeah. Good storybook, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you were right, though. One of Pastor Steve's favorite books is the Bible. Okay? But I brought a book. You got a Bible, too? Good. You have 2 Bibles? I bet I have more Bibles than you do. Bet I did. Yeah. In fact, I got kind of a problem with owning Bibles, believe me. Probably have a support group for that somewhere. But I brought both of these books because there's something very important that's different about these 2 books. Okay? It's not just that this book is a book for kids, because there's lots and lots of stories in here that are for kids. Okay? And it's not just that this book is a paperback. I mean, this is kind of, soft cover kind of thing. The letters in this book, most of them are black on white pages, and the letters in here are black on white pages. Some of them are red, that's another story, which we'll talk about sometime. Okay? No, there's a big, big difference between this storybook and this storybook. Okay? And the difference is, in this storybook, the story was made up by a person named Bill Martin Jr. and John Archambault. All right? And it was a story that they just made up out of the top of their head. In this book, the stories come to us from, anybody know? Anybody know where the stories come from in this book?
God.
Thank you. From God. They come from God. And this story is what we call fiction, or made up. Okay? I'm going to have a made-up story about a girl named Ashley in my sermon this morning, and that's just a story I made up on the top of my head. So people make up stories all the time. But all the stories in this are what we call nonfiction. They're all true. They're all real. Okay? Because God cannot tell a lie. And this book is filled with stories, lots and lots of stories. And sometimes these stories are hard to understand and hard to read, so that's why we have you go to Sunday school. That's why we have activities like confirmation class to help kind of explain some of these things. But that's also what we do here on Sunday morning. We teach what these stories mean. These stories are great stories, but they're all just made up stories written by man. These stories are stories that God wants us to know. And that's why the Bible, it really is Pastor Steve's favorite book. Yeah. Thanks for coming up.